It's time for Next Step Monday as we look back on this past Sunday's sermon and jumpstart our week with a few thoughts. Here's Pastor Matthew McCleary.
Hey, Fremont family, this is Pastor Matthew coming to you with the Next Step Monday for Monday, September 15th, after yesterday's sermon on Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3, in which we looked at having now created all things, the heavens and the earth and everything in them. God, on the seventh day, took up his rest. We see him delight in his creation. We see him settle in as the ruler of all things over his creation. We also see that he delights in it. He sets the seventh day apart, calls it holy and blesses it. And in this passage, we see an invitation for ourselves, an invitation for us to participate with God in that rest, that we can also rest in him. And really the invitation is that we could come more fully into the pattern or rhythm of creation that is established here in the opening chapter of Scripture, that we could once a week, as God on the seventh day established, pause, stop, rest, delight, and worship in him. For next steps, I really want us to consider what might more regular rhythm of Sabbath rest look like in our lives. For many of us, a Sabbath rest will look like a Sunday beginning by enjoying the community of God's people together in worship at church. But I would also consider what might the rest of the day look like to more fully develop that as a time of rest in God. What are the things that you might do ordinarily that you might want to pause or stop because they get in the way of truly being able to rest? And what are the new practices and rhythms that you can do either yourself or with your family that can help orient your heart and mind to worship and delight in the Lord? What are the things that you enjoy? What might it look like to delight in God's creation on this one day a week? Also, what are the interruptions that might be an obstacle for you in really practicing Sabbath? And then how can you guard against those things? Maybe it's turning notifications off on your phone for one day a week, or making sure that you're running certain errands ahead of time so it's not crowding in that Sabbath day. So I think that's the invitation for us to really be mindful as God has set this day apart. This is a gift. We don't need to be legalistic about it. We don't need to make sure that we're checking all the Sabbath boxes. We see that doesn't go well for folks in Scripture, but instead to receive it as the gift that it is, that indeed we can rest in God's finished work for us. We can wake up on the Sabbath to a world that we did not create, so a God who loves us unconditionally. So I pray that we really can find and enjoy the rest in the Lord this week, and I pray that blessing on you as we go.